The biting wind whipped through the narrow alley, a cruel reminder of another night spent with an empty stomach. For Elara, an orphan since she could remember, the world had always been shades of gray. Her home was a crumbling orphanage, run by the stern and unforgiving Mrs. Gable, a woman whose heart seemed as cold as the winter nights. Elara's only solace was her small, tattered sketchbook, where she drew worlds filled with color, warmth, and kindness, everything her own life lacked. One day, Mrs. Gable called Elara into her office. The air was thick with the scent of mothballs and stale tea. "Elara," she began, her voice devoid of any warmth, "a proposal has been made. A man from the neighboring village, a laborer named Liam, seeks a wife. He is humble, but he can provide a roof over your head. You will marry him." Tears welled in Elara's eyes. A forced marriage to a stranger? A poor laborer? It felt like a life sentence. She had dreamed of escaping, of becoming an artist, not being shackled to a life of even deeper poverty. But she had no choice. Her protests were met with a stony glare. A week later, in a drab, joyless ceremony, Elara, in a borrowed, ill-fitting dress, was married to Liam. Liam was just as the orphanage director had described him. Plain, calloused hands, clothes patched and worn. He lived in a tiny rustic cottage at the edge of the woods. It was clean but bare. The silence between them was heavy, a chasm of unspoken fears and resentments. Elara felt a profound sense of despair. This was her life now. But as days turned into weeks, Elara began to see a different side of Liam. He was quiet, yes, but not unkind. He would leave a wild daisy on her pillow in the morning. He noticed her shivering one night and spent the next day patching the holes in the thatched roof, his hands working tirelessly. He never demanded anything of her, treating her with a quiet respect she had never known. One evening, as rain lashed against the windows, Elara was sketching in her book, her only escape. Liam watched her from a distance. Timidly, he approached. "You're very talented," he said, his voice a low rumble. "Your drawings. They have life in them." It was the first real conversation they'd had. Elara, surprised by his genuine interest, found herself opening up. She showed him her drawings of fantastical cities and sun-drenched landscapes. He listened intently, his eyes reflecting the candlelight, and for the first time, Elara saw a depth in them she hadn't noticed before. She learned that Liam worked odd jobs in the village, fixing fences, chopping wood, anything to earn a few coins. He was often mocked for his simple clothes and quiet nature, yet he never retaliated. Instead, he would share his meager lunch with stray animals or help an elderly neighbor carry her groceries without asking for anything in return. His kindness was a silent, steady current running through his life. One afternoon, a notice was posted in the village square. The annual arts festival was offering a grand prize for the most promising new artist, a scholarship to the prestigious Royal Academy of Arts in the capital city. It was a dream Elara had held so close to her heart it ached. But the entry fee was a small fortune to them, and she needed professional paints and canvases, not just her charcoal sticks and sketchbook. She sighed, folding the dream away in her mind. It was impossible. That night, she saw Liam staring at the notice, his expression unreadable. For the next 2 weeks, Liam was gone from sunup to sundown. He came home later each night, more exhausted than ever, his hands raw and blistered. He offered no explanation, and Elara, respecting his silent struggle, didn't ask. Then, one evening, he placed a small, heavy pouch on the table. Inside were coins, enough for the entry fee. Next to it, he laid a wooden box. Elara opened it, and her breath caught in her throat. It was a full set of professional oil paints, pristine brushes, and a set of canvases. Tears streamed down her face. "How?" she whispered, looking at his worn-out boots and frayed jacket. "I took on extra work at the quarry," he said simply. "I wanted you to have a chance. Your art deserves to be seen by the world." In that moment, Elara's heart overflowed. This man, this poor laborer she was forced to marry, had seen her, truly seen her, and sacrificed for her dream. She realized she had fallen in love not with a man of means, but with a man of immense character and a heart of pure gold. Fueled by his belief in her, Elara poured her soul onto the canvas. She painted the world as she now saw it through the lens of Liam's kindness, a once gray alley illuminated by a single warm streetlight, a gnarled, weathered hand offering a wildflower, the quiet strength in the eyes of a simple man. Her painting, titled The Wealth of a Kind Heart, was a tribute to him. On the day of the festival, Elara's painting captivated everyone. The judges were moved to tears by the raw emotion and profound story captured on the canvas. She won the grand prize. As her name was announced, Elara searched the crowd and found Liam standing at the back, a quiet, proud smile on his face. She ran to him, ignoring the applause, and threw her arms around him. "We did it!" she cried. "This is for you." The next morning, a sleek black car, unlike anything their village had ever seen, pulled up to their small cottage. A man in a sharp suit stepped out and bowed deeply. "Mr. Blackwood," he said to Liam, "it's time. The board is waiting for your decision on the merger." Elara stared in stunned silence. Liam turned to her, a gentle look in his eyes. "Elara," he began softly, "there's something I need to tell you. My name is not just Liam, it's Liam Blackwood." He explained everything. He was the sole heir to the Blackwood Empire, one of the wealthiest families in the world. But he had grown weary of the greed and superficiality of his circle. He longed for something real, for someone who could see him for who he was, not what he had. So, he had vanished, creating a new life as a simple laborer, searching for a heart that valued kindness above all else. "I had my lawyers arrange the marriage," he confessed, his voice laced with vulnerability. "It was a long shot, a crazy plan. I forced you into this life, and I'm so sorry. But I needed to know. Could someone love the man, not the money? And you, Elara, you did more than that. You taught me what true wealth is. It's not in a bank. It's in here." He placed a hand over his heart. Elara was speechless, not with anger, but with overwhelming love. He wasn't a secret billionaire who had deceived her. He was a man who had sought an authentic life, and in doing so had given her the greatest gift of all, unconditional love and the freedom to pursue her dreams. His wealth was never the secret. His incredible, selfless heart was. They moved to the city, but they never forgot their little cottage. Liam used his vast resources to build art centers and shelters for the less fortunate, while Elara became a celebrated artist, her work inspiring millions. They built a life not on a foundation of money, but on the enduring strength of kindness and a love that had blossomed in the humblest of places, proving that the greatest treasures are not the ones we own but the ones we find in each other. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring stories. We'll see you in the next video.